easy go.
Welcome back, brocasters. It feels so good to be back after our bye week. And it's so good to say hello to my fellow brocasters, John, Zach, Price. How was your bye week, guys?
Wonderful, man.
Well, I guess the outcome of the game could have been better, but outside of that, had a good bye week.
Did we play last week? I didn't know he showed up anywhere. Okay. We'll see.
Yeah, we most certainly played last week, as Bryce said, not the way we wanted it to go. So guys, let's jump into it. I know we didn't do a preview of this, and we had our bye week. We were hoping that the Bucs bye week might have made it a little bit more of a rolling game. We would have come in a little more prepared for it, but it looked like the Bucs just didn't come out with any juice. So what did you guys see on the game? Let's start with John.
I mean, to me, I think I called it a W to start the season, but as this game got closer and closer, it felt more and more like a trap game. Everything said we should have won this game. And then I started thinking back, this was the only team that gave us trouble in the playoffs. They were the only team that almost beat us. And then they looked like that team again. They just had our number all day long. And it was especially painful coming off of the Saints loss to go into another loss after the bye. But we just, no side of the ball ever seemed to get any rhythm. Our coaches didn't seem to make any adjustments. And Brady didn't seem to make any adjustments on his end either. And, it's something that I hope we learn from, much like the Saints lost last season. But I mean, all in all, just an ugly looking game.
Yeah, that Bears game feels like a distant memory. The last two times we've watched his team go out there. I mean, I'd like to think these are a couple like minor setbacks for major comeback, but I don't know. They definitely look like they've lost their focus on like their core competencies. I mean, run the football, set up the play action, throw the ball, run your routes right, catch the ball as well. Very, very frustrated to watch the amount of drops that we had on Sunday. It was very annoying. A lot of drops, and some of them are tough passes because Brady will try to throw you open, and sometimes you're not open. But there were some like right in the numbers just dropped.
You're absolutely right, Zach. We didn't ever run the ball. I mean, Ronald Jones got no carries. Leonard Fournette got dinked and dunked, and Bruce Arians came out and said, "Oh, we were down 13. We had to give up running the ball." That's unacceptable. You don't give up running the ball down 13. Like down 2 scores and you're just going to give up running the ball in the first half. That to me is a sign of bad coaching. The more and more I see Bruce Arians and Byron Leftwich call this offense, the more I think last year they got bailed out by COVID, by restrictions, by Brady showing up, and I'm still not sold that either of them know what they're doing.
I will say that running the ball means that you have to have the ball for a good amount of time. And that was not the case this game. I mean, I think Washington had a 2-to-1 ratio in the amounts of the time of possession for this game. And that's that's on our defense for not being able to get off on third down. That's kind of what I took from this game. I will agree, John. It looked like the whole team was flat from start to finish. The first play of the game is an offside on O.J. Howard, all-star, I guess. And that's really unacceptable. I mean, that's just a mental error by who's supposed to be a 5-year veteran. And that just kind of set the tone for the day. Just mistakes at costly times. Defense couldn't make plays when they needed to outside of one fumble caused by Levante David. And the whole offense was just out of rhythm. And I kind of agree that, I was kind of getting prepared for this game. Like, this whole game seems like this should be a cakewalk, but I have this feeling in my gut that it's not going to be that easy. And lo and behold, Washington looks like a completely different team playing the Bucs. It looked like the records were flipped. They were the 6-2 team, and we were the 2-6 team. But nonetheless, disappointing performance. Tom Brady wasn't too sharp. I think really what happened is that first drive, he got rocked pretty hard by Jonathan Allen, and that kind of got him some happy feet. And the way that Arians explained it was they were playing a lot of soft coverage, which most teams are going to do against us. And so he was checking down the ball very often. So, those 5-yard out routes or check down screens to Godwin, that's really where we were going. And then, the other thing too is for the first, 2 possessions or 3 possessions, 3 and out, interception, I guess. And then another interception. And, at that point in time, we were down. Luckily, we were only down like 13 points, but just could not catch up. Now, just a really, underwhelming performance. And I'm really more concerned about the defense. We've got to be able to make plays in the backfield. Pass rush looked non-existent again, outside of Devin White getting to the quarterback occasionally. And it's really the starters, right? Joe Tyron had a good, he was only in there for about 20 something snaps, but he looked good. Anthony Nelson looked like he played better than JPP. So I'm hoping maybe those guys will get an opportunity to play going forward. But the starters just didn't look great. There's really not much else to say. Disappointing performance. I hope we come out a lot stronger this Monday night.
They ran the ball 34 times. We ran the ball 13 times, and they ran the ball 34 times for under 100 yards. So it's not like they were gashing us, but they stuck to the run. That's why they had twice the TOP that we did. I mean, like, I understand it's like a chicken and the egg. Like, is it the defense wasn't doing a good job, or was it the offense wasn't establishing the right game plan to possess the ball? Because you run the ball 13 times and your quarterback's completing like 2/3 of his passes. It doesn't sound like a time of possession strategy. They ran the ball 34 times for like under 3 or like at 3 yards a clip or under. But that's just commitment to the run that I was very envious of. Antonio Gibson just kept running into walls. We just kept running them, and they just ran clock.
And it wore our defense down, man. And, and not to burst your bubble, Bryce, but our defensive line coach today said Nelson and Tyron are not going to get many snaps. He said it today. He said the guys with the bigger paychecks are going to get starts. And that's what he said, regardless of performance, which I disagree with completely. Not that I don't like JPP, not that I don't like Sue or Shaq Barrett. Those guys are obviously studs.
Best teeth in the biz.
But you best teeth in the business, bro. I say it every week. God, they look great. If I hit the pick six, that's what I'm getting. I'm getting those done. I want those.
But he's gone the moment you get it.
You gotta play the hot hand sometimes. And it's just, that to me leads me back to what I was saying before. It's coaching. Our coaches look out coached. We are just getting out coached. And unless we can physically dominate a team where we can just overwhelm them with our star power, we get smacked. That's why the Saints spanked the shit out of us. And it's just, that's what keeps happening. And I hope that Brady takes it up with management, that perhaps he needs to be calling more of those plays, or we need to pull some plays away from Leftwich, because Leftwich and Arians just look completely outclassed. I'd be surprised if they're still here 1 or 2 seasons from now.
Well, that's what you and Bryce are saying, right? Like Bryce says, Arian says they're running soft coverage on us, and John's point is they're getting out coached. You have to make adjustments. So if you have a first half like that with 2 picks and you do nothing on offense, I mean, you need to come up with something new. To me, if they're running soft coverage and they're drawing back in the zone, sounds like a great time to run the ball. I don't know, just a thought. If they're going to drop back and let you check down and they can just crash in on you, just run the damn ball.
Yeah, I will say it. I mean, that's just really not the identity of this offense. Is we're not a run-heavy team. We're just not. And it's pretty disappointing when it's 3rd and 1 and Leonard Fournette can't pick up a yard. We have to go and have Tom Brady sneak a yard on 4th down in order to pick that up. That doesn't give me much confidence in our run game. That being said, I do agree that this coaching staff has some looking in the mirror to do in accordance with finding adjustments, finding ways to make, to get other players involved, I would say, and to, adjust. The league has probably found out, hey, we know what Todd Bowles is bringing. Here are his blitz packages. This is how you block them. Well, come on, Todd. You're a smart enough guy. I would think you could come up with a few other blitzes. We did get to Heineke 5 times this game, but it just didn't seem like it, right? The amount of snaps they had, it seemed few and far between. I will say, let's
Well-
see what happens when we get some of the starters back. When we get, CD3 or Carlton Davis, Sean Murphy Bunting on the back end. And then let's see when we get Antonio Brown. I don't know if Gronk will be healthy enough to come back to play where he was in the beginning, but if you get some of those stars in there, that might help a few things. I don't think Antonio Brown drops that pass that, is right in the hands of Jalen Darden like he did. So we'll see.
Yeah, I think we can sum up this game in one word, which is just unacceptable. From an offensive standpoint, the lack of adjustments were unacceptable. Also on the defensive standpoint, I've seen us get beat on that corner route so many times this year because we can't get to the quarterback and he just lobs it up to the flag and he's wide open. I've seen they've had outside leverage on our corners all year, and I don't know what Pod is doing about it.
The Humphreys out route was a backbreaker because that hurt personally as well.
Yeah. So I just think it was unacceptable from my standpoint. Offense, defense, coaching, all of it. Turnovers, penalties. You don't play like that and expect yourselves to call yourself, defending Super Bowl champs. You look like Super Bowl chumps in this game. So,
Whoa. You can't take away that Super Bowl from me.
you don't take it away, but you definitely aren't playing like it. That's
Can't take
sure.
this polo off my chest, man. This is on here.
I mean, every team is going to play you guys or the Bucs like they are Super Bowl this year, right? They're the champs. They're going to get everyone's best shot. Washington came, and we just did not match the energy level. Yeah, so I agree, Ryan. Unacceptable. I mean, every team's going to be like this, so you better be ready.
Yeah, especially this next team, the Giants, coming in on Monday. We get a Monday night game, prime time. Get a little extra time to evaluate ourselves. So how do you guys think we're going to come in after a couple of losses now? We're on a 2-loss. I see John throwing a W. So, John, yeah.
Well, John can't start because that means he gets to pick first in
That's
fantasy
true.
again.
That's
so
true.
I'm just gonna.
So we're gonna.
Yeah, it's not gonna
ship
happen.
John off. Let's start
Yeah.
with you then, Zach.
Okay. All right. Phenomenal. I also think we're gonna win this game, John. But for a few reasons. Number one, it's a home game, and we've looked better at home. We've done better against the spread at home. Not that that matters for anybody who's not gambling. But Giants aren't great, and I think it's a team that we can kind of impose our will on them offensively, and then defensively, we just have to keep Saquon in check. Their receiving core is garbage. I think that's pretty objectively true. Danny Dimes is not a great quarterback. He's run all over us in the past. I do have a little PTSD playing against him. It was his rookie year, right? Where he just ran up and down the field on us. Embarrassing. But at the end of the day, they are a bad team. I do think this is a wake up game. To me, this is like a prove it game for the Bucs. Last 2 games, you've looked terrible. You were favored decently in all of them. You came out flat, fell behind, chasing a lead, can't get it done. I expect both phases to come out looking sharper, and I expect to borrow from Mark Schlereth there to have been a come to Brady moment. And I expect bigger and better things this week. I think we can hopefully close the chapter on that Washington game. Hopeful. Oh, fantasy player. That's right. Yeah. Before John goes. I'm going to go with Brady, mostly because of the fact that I think he's going to be really fired up. The photos of him on the sideline are amazing. He just looks like the angriest dad in the country, just ready to get home and yell at some kids. So I'll take Brady as my player.
Also, the fact that you're in last place, so getting
I get 2 of them. That's right. So I'll take Brady.
Helps.
I'll take Brady and Evans as well. So I'll get 2 for the handicap. Appreciate it.
Let me tell you all about it. This is what's going to happen on Monday night is this team is going to save me from another Bucs life season. And this is where we're going to show me and warm me up and get me ready for Turkey Day that we can get out there and get a W. Because if we lose, we're trending down. If we lose this game, as far as I'm concerned, you can chalk the whole season up because it's over. Because you don't lose 3 games in a row if you're a Super Bowl bound team. You just don't do it. I expect the offense to come out and look electric. This will be a statement game for us, on national television during a holiday to get out there and put it on the Giants a little bit and show why we are still the team to beat. That's what I expect to happen on Monday night. And the man that I expect to do that is going to be Cameron Brate. I expect Cameron Brate to go out there and be the replacement for Rob Gronkowski. I think he earned a little bit of trust with Tom Brady in the end zone this weekend, and I expect Cameron Brate to go out there and do it big.
Yeah, two things concern me about this game. One is that it is prime time. I don't know what it is with primetime games, but they're always close with us. We seem to struggle in these primetime games, so that has me a little bit concerned. And two, Danny Dimes got his nickname, Danny Dimes, when he played the Bucs in 2019 and threw it all over the field and ran all over the field. And last season, that was a Monday night game in New York where it took Antoine Winfield breaking up a 2-point conversion to win that game. However, that all being said, I agree with John. I think any Super Bowl contender, let alone if any team has any aspirations of getting anywhere in the playoffs, doesn't lose 3 games in a row. I don't think Brady's going to let this team lose 3 in a row. I think they come out, they show out. We do play well at home, as Zach said. We're 4-0. The offense seems to click a lot better at home. The atmosphere is going to be electric. Yeah, I'm very excited for this game. So I think we get off the schneid and back in that W column and continue our march toward the playoffs. And my fantasy player. I'm going to go ahead and take Mike Evans back from Zach. That's going to be my pick for this. He seems to score a touchdown every game. I think it continues.
Yeah, I'm with you, Bryce. I don't know what it is about the Giants, and I think I said this on our season preview that I had this chalked up as a loss just because the Giants seem to play us hard no matter where they are in the standings. So whenever we get to a Giants game, it seems to be a pretty even battle. That said, with all of you guys, even though I had this as a trap game early in the season, I did not have us losing 2 in a row. And I can't imagine, if we want this team to go where we want it to go, I'm with John, this can't be a loss. So I'll look for us to win here. I think the key, honestly, is just contain Daniel Jones, make sure he can't get out of the pocket. I think sometimes we get a little bit too aggressive on our pass rush that led quarterbacks, and we saw it with Taylor Heineke last game, lets them come out and exit the pocket and get some big yards on us. So contain Daniel Jones. I don't really trust his arm all too much, even though our secondary is a little suspect, but contain him, make sure he stays in the pocket, force him to throw the ball on us. And for fantasy, I think, we said I can't go with a running back right now because we haven't been running the ball. So I'll go with the other guy, the other receiver that's always in, Chris Godwin. He's been having good catches, not really getting into the end zone as much as we'd like to see him, but definitely a workhorse. And he's been kind of simulating that run game for us with those screen passes. So I'll look for him to get a lot of receptions and yards.
Chris Godwin is our Cordero Patterson.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is. Now we go into the Bucs Bets section, and we go into with Zach. Zach, what do you got for us as we head into Monday night against the Giants?
Well, I was just frantically looking to see if a team had ever lost 3 in a row and won a Super Bowl. The Steelers did in 05, so there's hope. Anyhow, the Seminole tribe, they've done us a really solid favor by getting this sports bet app up and running. For some reason, they don't want to include the Tampa Bay Buccaneers Monday night game right now as an available option, which is strange considering there's a Hard Rock Casino 20 minutes from the stadium. But regardless, we're just going to borrow lines from elsewhere. The tribe will mirror what everyone else's lines are. We're big favorites. You'll see us 10 or 11 point favorites. There is a trend in sports betting for football with the spread. Teams that did not cover the spread playing in their last game, playing teams that did cover the spread in their last game, are like 60-something% to cover the spread. That's the Bucs. The Giants, they won their last game big, right? Before their bye, they covered, and obviously we haven't covered it in a while. So in this instance, I'm gonna do something I rarely ever do. I'm gonna take the Bucs spread minus 10.5, which is a lot of points. It's a lot of points, but I'm gonna take that. I'm also gonna double down and take the first half spread at 6.5. Yep, John likes that. So we're going big on spreads, and then for the lock of the week, it's a home game. The over has been really nice at home. We're going to take the over 49. So basically, we're betting this like a route, and so our that's our scope, right? It's like blow them out. So that's what I see happening. I just think it's a get right game, more so than even playing Washington was, because it's like a road game. It's cold, kind of. And I don't know, it's a weird team. The Juju's off. The Heineke kid, I don't know. He had another one of those runs where he almost scored, and getting down in the red zone. But yeah, first half spread minus 6.5, full game spread minus 10.5, and over 49 is going to be the lock. So please go Bucs, big.
I was gonna say I don't think any Bucks fans are gonna be upset if all of those hit. A lot of points, and if we're covering the spread, that's a big win for us, which I think we need. So
Yeah, there's no hedging in those bets. That is definitely all gas, no brakes. So
yeah, all Bucks. That's what we like to hear on Bucks Bros. All
Yeah.
Bucks. For us, Buck Bros, that's gonna do it. We hope to see you again next week. Go Bucks against the Giants, guys. Go Bucks.
Go Bucks.
go Bucs.
Go Bucks. You don't go out and get Leonard Fournette and keep him and Ronald Jones and say that the identity of the team is passing the ball. I get it when you have Godwin. I get it when you have
You
Godwin.
can say the same
Evans.
thing for the receivers.
But Brady had 2 number 1 receivers on the field on Saturday, and he couldn't make use of them. So maybe there's a time to take the ball away from him and give it to somebody else. It's not like he didn't have weapons. It's not like he didn't have weapons. Everybody's saying, well, AB's out and Gronk is out. Well, tough titties. You still got Mike Evans and Chris
Family
Godwin.
show.
Almost
Family show.
every other quarterback in the league would kill to have Mike Evans and Chris Godwin every week. And you just get to sprinkle on top AB and Gronk. That's unacceptable. OJ Howard was out there, like Bryce said, for 1 snap. Where was he the whole game? Former first-round pick, number 15 overall. Where was he all game? Why didn't we see him at all? We didn't have nothing. We had nothing to show for it on offense, and is loaded with studs. And so if those receivers aren't going to pick it up, run the ball. At least if you're going to lose with somebody. Try something different.
I will say I'm surprised Ronald Jones didn't get playing time in this game. That was a little strange to me. I don't know if there's an injury they didn't disclose, or if he
One
did
snap
something during practice, or what happened. But it is he got 1 snap. Okay, well, even with that 1 snap, it's like, well, where is he? This guy had a pretty, he hasn't had a great season, but he did look like he was starting to get back to that in that Saints game. I just don't know where the what's the point of having him on the roster then?
He's got the highest average yards per carry on the team.
I don't disagree. So I'd like to see more of Ronald Jones, to be honest with you. I guess he just doesn't have the coaching staff's trust. I will say that running the ball means that you have to have the ball. Yeah, I will say it. I mean, that's just really not the identity of this offense. I will say, let's see what happens. I will say I'm surprised Ronald Jones didn't get playing time in this game. However, that all being said, I agree with John.